ahead. This one, a sheriff's chase. This is eastbound 91. This is a report of a stolen vehicle. We're going to let Des get situated, but Juan and Rudabeh, I can tell you that this is like the fourth time we have been on the 91 freeway. This guy has gone on and off the 91 freeway. This originally started with the Lakewood Sheriff Station. CHP has taken it over, and we are eastbound 91 approaching the 605. Lakewood Sheriff Station, CHP has taken it over, and we are eastbound 91 approaching the 605. Again, even though you haven't seen it on TV, I can tell you we've been listening to it, and this guy is just east and west on the 91 rather, multiple times.
Yeah, we know it took a while, Mike, for Desmond to get down there to the 91 freeway, and this has been going for a while, and it doesn't look like traffic is a factor at this hour.
Yeah, no, and
it's light.
Yeah, they've been talking about that. The airship has been giving the traffic conditions, which has been light and at times the airship has said non-existent. Now, this is a blue Honda Civic. Even when it's been on surface streets, it's been following the rules of the road. The airship even made a point to let the CHP officers and the sergeant that is in charge of the chase know that the guy was not running red lights. It wasn't until they got on the freeway that they ran a red light to try to get onto the freeway. And I think Des is getting a little bit closer now. Des, you with us?
Yes, I am with you here as we are eastbound on the 91 and our speedometer trying to kind of calibrate here. It's kind of confused if we're going 75 or 90 miles an hour. The closer we get, it should start to kind of get its sense about it here. But definitely at some freeway speeds. I think we are seeing kind of faster speeds than we had heard about earlier in this pursuit. But like Mike said, we've just kind of been going back and forth on the 91. We got about as far west as we did earlier at Long Beach Boulevard and then exited the freeway and just got right back on the 91. So, and there's kind of been the back and forth with sheriffs and CHP. They had wanted to give it over to sheriffs, but then he got off the freeway, but then he got kind of sustained back on the freeway. So now we have CHP in pursuit. The stolen, it is a blue Toyota Camry right here. And the two helicopters overhead right now, it's been LA County Sheriff's deputies, but also the historically famous Sky Knight, the first aerial police surveillance division in the country. They are up there right now. They work with Lakewood primarily, but they are the ones that started this, and they got their other more newer helicopter overhead, I should say, the LA County Sheriff's deputies proper that is up there. So two helicopters on this one from the air and quite a few CHP units as well. We'll see if CHP kind of has the heart to stick with this one now since it is a stolen vehicle and it's getting off the freeway. And, you know, sometimes they stick with it, sometimes they don't. But, well, let's see. Maybe got to come up with a pit maneuver or something here. Let's see.
And just like you were saying, Mike and Desmond, we're looking at it right here, going at freeway speeds, not going at any basic crazy speeds at all, just getting off the freeway here, which, of course, we're going to see what's going to happen next.
Yeah, and as we come into the underpass here, so the Sky Knight, as Desmond was mentioning, is a contract helicopter that is primarily for Lakewood. The city of Lakewood actually pays for it. It is operated by the Sheriff's Department, but it is dedicated to Lakewood. They're the ones that, then they handed it off to, I want to say regular Aero, but, you know, they're more larger Airstar helicopter, or A-Star helicopters that are there. Really, right now, there are three of them. They're left to transition one of them out here, I believe. So we've got this, many eyes on this right now, including from Des, and as you see, 30, 32 miles an hour. We're really not going at anything too crazy here. And as I mentioned earlier, he's been stopping at red lights. We'll see if he does that here or what his kind of move is. But not any kind of crazy high speeds at this point. There's CHP coming up on the driver's side. Maybe an opportunity to box him in. We've seen CHP do that. Yep, here we go.
Oh. Yep, they did kind of.
Waited a little too long.
Kind of it's something kind of newer, I feel like we've been seeing a little bit more often from CHPs, just to kind of like sneak in and see if they can kind of box them in. Really, CHP is the only ones that we've seen do that, and they have had some success with it in the past, you know, preventing from you know, to kind of make it preclude them from having to do a pit maneuver or something, and something potentially, you know, going you know, catastrophic, especially if they have reason to believe that this is, you know, someone with a mental health issue or something. That tends to be a pretty effective tactic. But this is a stolen vehicle, so, you know, I don't think that they have very much information on this particular suspect right now. And once again, we've got the pursuit tint per usual. So as we kind of double in, the driver's side window down right now, but have been able to see in the passenger compartment if there's more than one person in the vehicle. Just kind of cruising around like a cool guy with one arm on the steering wheel here. And, you know, not super high speeds, just, I don't know, just kind of recalcitrant and refusing to pull over for CHP. It's just always kind of a weird one. What else is going on behind the scenes here that you don't want to just give this up? But they continue here, just kind of rolling along northbound Pioneer Boulevard. So kind of in the Paramount area, south of Norwalk right now, cruising along at 30 miles an hour.
Yeah, going so slowly compared to what we often see,
Yeah.
and the CHP really right behind that driver. And it was a little bit tricky there where they tried to do that maneuver because there were other cars in
Right.
that intersection. Luckily, there isn't a lot of traffic on the streets that we've been seeing and on the freeway either. But at that particular moment, there were some cars there at that intersection.
And while they couldn't box him in, Mike, maybe they got a good chance to see if there was maybe more than one
Right,
person
and we
in the
actually
car, right?
did hear that there were believed to be 2 people
Oh, 2
inside the
people
car.
now.
So we've got the
Okay.
driver and at least 1 passenger. CHP hopefully will take advantage of these low speeds. I mean, these are ideal speeds to do a pit maneuver or something like that. We've not heard them be denied or anything as of this point, so we are still waiting to see if that actually happens. Here's the right side of your
Here's that
screen we were
replay
talking
again,
about
yeah.
earlier, where that CHP officer was really close to boxing him in, just maybe a second too later, showed the cards and didn't kind of make that move to really box him in. But, I mean, we're down to like 19, 20 miles an hour, which is also always so fascinating to me because it's not a person who is obviously desperately trying to get away, right? They know they're being chased. They just don't want to stop. And you just wonder what the game plan is or the conversation inside of the car and what's happening. But now we're making this another U-turn, which is kind of what we've been doing all night. We are in the, really kind of the Norwalk area, which is actually kind of a newer spot for where this chase has been. Forgive me, actually, they have been here before. I'm looking at the trail of the helicopter. So they've kind of been sticking to the same kind of areas. We'll see if they'll come back to the 91 and get back on the 91 again. That's what they did last time.
And they just went through an intersection there. I couldn't see if the light was red or green, if they ran that
see it.
light
There we go.
just now.
The CHP unit looked like he wanted to try to do something.
Might
here.
look like they're getting ready for something here. But then he backs off a little bit, Mike.
Yeah,
Oh, look at that.
Here we go, here we go.
kind of the will he or won't he?
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that it's perfect, but then the suspect kind of speeds
up.
Yeah.
back up a little bit, maybe a little privy to what CHP was trying to accomplish there.
That median
And,
also makes it tough, too,
I do have
guys.
to say, I mean, it does, yes, it definitely does. Fortunately, there's no parked car. Well, I say that, then of course there's parked cars right there as well. So they come up in the shot. So. Yeah, we had one last night, of course, with the sheriff's deputy where it was really close to going through a fence, and fortunately it didn't. And that's something that, CHP obviously wants to avoid. They don't want to have to deal with any insurance issues or extra paperwork on something. So it's really always kind of a touch-and-go decision if they're going to do it or not. And right there again, it kind of seemed like them turning back around again. I mean, this guy's just kind of cruising along Pioneer Boulevard like he's almost just like he's enjoying kind of egging the police on at this point. And let's see if the CHP is going to continue to have the patience for that.
They really want it.
As soon as they kind of get up on the bumper, they do want to come up and and then we get up above 35, 40 miles an hour, and it's just kind
Changes
of this
real quick.
annoying, cat and mouse game. Yeah, so. But Pioneer Boulevard, a pretty major thoroughfare here in the Norwalk Downey kind of Paramount area. Going to come up on the opposite bumper right here. This looks like it. Looks like a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Oh, you got a
right
sheriff's
into it.
deputy right
quite
there
get
in the
the
gas
angle.
station.
And there are people there, which makes...
Geez. Well, underneath the awning now.
Of course.
Well, we'll see if we can come around to the other side. But, yeah, messed up the bumper, and maybe
Doors
just like
open,
that,
he's
they're
out.
done.
Imagine
didn't even take
gassing
very
up at
much. It
this
wasn't
article
even
right
a-
now, and this is going on. This is wild.
And you see the bumper hanging off the car there from
Yeah.
what little we can see of it.
Driver's out. We see his
Getting
feet right
down.
there.
The driver is out. And let's just come back, actually. Yeah, and
Looks like he's down on
if
the
it's not
ground.
a tree, it is a gas station awning that gets in our way here. So
Always something does.
my
Always
pilot Chris trying to do the
something.
best
There
he
he
can to get around.
Not really
But,
cooperating.
Yeah,
What's he up to there?
yeah. It seemed like he was getting down on the ground, and now we've got trees and an awning in the way. But it seemed like he was down on the ground, and then he kind of got back up, and you see CHP out there with less lethal as we come around. But, yeah, it didn't even take a successful pit. I mean, I guess any pit that gets a suspect to stop is successful, but it just barely kind of, moved the car around a little bit. It dislodged the bumper, and the suspect decided that they had enough. And so there we go.
Hands
now
up.
he looks like he is going to be cooperating. Hands up, putting up, making sure there's no weapons in his waistband, and backing up towards officers. And it looks like they'll be in handcuffs, but we supposedly have another passenger, so maybe we'll hold this angle to see if there is indeed another person inside it. Don't see anyone in the passenger seat, but maybe someone in the rear seats.
It did look like, just from what we could see when we were blocked by the awning, it looked like someone was getting down on the ground before. We just saw the feet there. But yeah, you wonder where the other person is.
Yeah, I think that was the driver that we saw the whole time. They had gotten down and then back up and then decided to cooperate. And looks like maybe they may have dropped their cell phone or something right there. But they had reason to believe that there were two in the vehicle. So we will watch from this angle to see if they're going to come up and clear the vehicle, and we'll see if anyone else is inside.
Oh, yeah, they're coming
really
around.
Kind of, typical CHP here. They do not mess around. They don't waste any time on this, and they're not even coming in with a shield. I mean, they've got their lethal and less lethal, but they're coming in to clear the vehicle very, very quickly here. And, well, it's looking like maybe we did only have the one in the car. They're gonna check the trunk just to make sure no funny business in there. And it looks like we've got code 4 now, a relaxed stance, and that's it. So I guess it turns out there was only one in the vehicle, unless we missed something on the other side of the awning there. But regardless, the pursuit is over here, and we are off of Pioneer and Lomont Street in the Downey Norwalk
And we
area.
can see the suspect now in custody. All right, Mike and Desmond, thank you very much.